Hello everyone, I meet the most interesting people right here on Duval Street. That's right, I'm Kit Carson, the Earl of Pizza, and I sit in front of Angelina's Pizza and I talk to the rock stars, the heroes, and the gods all day. It's what I do. And tonight I have a special guest. If you would, look at the camera and tell everybody your name and where you're from.
Hi, my name's
Everybody wants to sit with Kit.
Sue Burke.
Sue, from where?
I grew up in Pensacola, Florida, but
Escambia County?
Escambia County.
Wow.
Also known as Lower Alabama.
Also known as LA. Yeah.
And I've lived here in Key West for about 3.5 years now.
3.5 years. So did you spend most of your time in Pensacola?
No, I spend most of my time here in Key West.
How long have you lived in Key West?
About 3.5 years.
But where did you live in between? Because I know you're older than 5.
A little bit older than 5 times 10. if we're doing math.
So you were born in Pensacola?
I was not born in Pensacola. So I was born into a military family, married into military. So I have lived a lot of places.
So
yes.
Pensacola, who was in the military when you were there? You? Or
my dad was in the military when I was growing up,
right.
And then I married into the military, which moved me all around the country.
That's how you got to Pensacola before here?
Correct.
Wow. So was he, because they used to have a big helicopter training facility there.
Yep, they still do.
They still do?
Still do. Helicopters, jets, NFOs, pilots.
I remember those helicopters coming over, tuck, 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 like every 12 minutes or something.
I don't remember the helicopters as much as I remember the people that fly them.
Yeah, well, I lived underneath the flight path, obviously, on the poor side of town when I lived
Pensacola.
there. Yeah, I lived there. I went to first and second grade there.
Where?
Escambia Elementary.
Ooh. I grew up in
Probably not even there
I grew up
anymore.
in Ferry Pass.
Other
side of the world. I love it. Yeah, I generally remember the people that flew the planes more so than the plane.
Right. So you're married a military guy.
I married a military guy. Then unfortunately he passed away in
Sorry
combat.
about that.
Well, not combat. In a service-related incident.
Okay.
And then I was fortunate enough to again find somebody that could put up with me, and he also was military.
So, how did you get to Key West?
How did I get to Key West? So.
Yeah. What
My husband, we were living in Norfolk at the time.
Okay.
Orders came up for him. The job he had, they said you can go wherever you want. He's deployed and he reads the list to me and he's like reading down Jacksonville, Tampa, Orlando, all these different places. Nothing wrong with those places, people. I just didn't hear anything that piqued my interest, and then he goes Key West, and then he kept reading, and I was like, "Why are you still reading? Why are you still reading?"
Back up, yeah.
What?
Right, go to Key West.
Right. And I said, "Dave, hello.
Yeah.
I shared with you when you met me, we will always choose a destination place, and the government will pay for us to live in a destination area, and here we are." So funny story is, we bought a home in Pensacola. We closed on it the second week of October.
Right.
And we moved here 2 weeks later. And I put my feet on the ground and I said, "I'm not moving." And he says, "Honey, I just bought you a house." And I said, "And?" And because I married a saver and he's pretty, we were then able to still buy here in Key West.
Yeah. Well.
And here we are, and I love it.
Yep.
Got a great job. My husband is looking for employment. Any of you people out there?
Looking for employment?
Like, don't look at me and judge me for employment, but you should see my husband. Like, I remember going back to what I remember about planes and helicopters. The pilots are pretty, and we're good.
You're good?
I'm good, yeah.
Yeah. So what do you do now?
What do I do now? I work for Commissioner Scholl.
Commissioner Scholl?
Mayor Pro Tem.
Mayor Pro Tem.
Mayor Pro Tem.
That's got to be a tough job.
Shoot, if you're weak. Not for me. Not for me. Not for me.
I love it.
Not for me.
You can put up with Dagwood?
Listen, I don't put up. If anything, the roles are probably a little reversed.
Yeah, right?
You might be putting up a little bit with me.
Well, you know what? I'm going to go on a real short limb and say he needs somebody to keep him in control.
I think we balance each other out well.
I don't know what your title is, but I call you his handler.
My what?
Handler.
Handler?
Yeah, you handle him. Yeah,
I got to rein him in, you're saying?
Yeah, right.
And Yeah,
you got to do all the above. It's not just a cut and dry job. I'm sure.
I love it, and
I'm sure it's not like your basic 9 to 5.
It's not the basic 9 to 5. It's actually better than a 9 to 5.
Absolutely.
These cool cats that you interviewed already know the story and the scoop.
That one right there.
Oh, you just met some amazing people.
I know.
And your stories from them are going to be far better than anything I have to share with you. They're wonderful.
Not far better. They have, I find everybody's story interesting. I'm amazed at how you ended up here. In a sordid tale of going through military family, military life, military husband.
A couple of them.
Yeah, military wife, and you end up here.
Yep. So listen.
And it's because you want to be here.
Well, and I want to be here so much that the night before I found out that I was going to be hired, my husband and I had packed up both of our houses.
Yeah.
Sunday night, packed up both our houses. Friends came over, got the stuff in the second story house down to the downstairs. Our moving truck's coming Monday morning at 9. This is a Sunday. We go to our friend's birthday party, and he was like, Sue, got the perfect job for you.
Oh.
And I was like, no, we're moving. Our entire household goods are packed. I was like, what do you mean they're packed? It's like, everything's packed. And then they told me the job and who I'd be handling.
Who?
Jim Scholl.
And
I said, I got this. And I shared with Dave. I said, listen, I've moved my entire life for other people, and I've never questioned it. I've loved every minute of it. The hard, the bad, the good, all of it. And I am asking you to let me stay because I really didn't want to leave anyway.
Right.
But I would never, I support whatever our mission was as a team. And I said, I want to stay. So he was like, we'll stay. So the next day we call our friends and we're like, good news and bad news. Hey, we're staying. So it's like, woo, eruption of fun feelings. Bad news, got to help get all our shit back upstairs.
Yeah, moving right
and here
back
we
in.
are. So we're supposed to be here.
Yeah.
It was great.
Well, that's good. Key West is just an interesting place. It's as special as you want it to be.
It's very easy to become involved. It's very easy for a caring.
It is. To be such a difficult place to afford to be here, it's easy to be here.
It's easy to be here.
The people here are just very accommodating. Very helpful. I don't know if it's just the island life. It's just very unique.
It's wonderful, and I think we, as a culture and a community, wrap our arms around those that support this community, and we want people who care, and we want people that are committed.
And speaking of which, we're about to start into the election season. How's that going to change your life?
Because I'm anticipating Jim Scholl will be reelected, I can say on that front, it probably won't change my life that much. However, with the current status of the selection or lack of selection that we have for presidential candidates, that could possibly change my life. But then I also go back to, I'm 58 years old, and I can honestly say, through good presidents, bad presidents, what have you, what they are deemed or labeled, my life generally doesn't change a whole lot.
No, it stays.
It stays relatively the same.
Right.
So based on my understanding of how my life doesn't really change, I'm here for it.
I'm kind of with you. I'm at that point where I just kind of roll with the flow with the roll, and whatever sticks, and what doesn't, and I just try to keep moving along.
Well, and local politics or local government is so important, and being involved is important.
Right.
And it's really easy to see how one constituent really can make a difference.
Right.
So oftentimes we see how
on the
a person
level
can make a negative impact.
Yeah.
We don't often see how a person makes a positive impact.
It takes 20 positives to outweigh that one negative.
And I'm here for that action. I love it.
And I think that's, goes back to Key West and the central theme of people being here because they want to be here. There's always a good vibe here. Even when we're fighting, there's a good vibe. So It's an interesting place.
It's the best. I remember
is.
our first New Year's here.
It is.
There was such love and friendship and people who don't know one another.
Yeah.
It's just a happy place, even when people are backed up and nut to butt to one another. Everybody's just happy to be here.
Yep.
It's a wonderful atmosphere. I can't get enough of it. Even though I live here, I still wake up and I find YouTube videos, and my husband's like,
Nice.
"You know, you live here. You
Right.
don't have to YouTube videos of Key West. You live here." I love it that much. I do.
In part because I have a YouTube channel, but I watch other YouTube stuff about Key West too. I'm like, okay, wow. Because you learn something.
We've got coming up right now. This is fun. Coming up right now.
Look at there.
The United States Naval Academy RV chapter is walking by. We are here for you guys. Go Naval Academy! Thank you guys for all you do.
All on a pub crawl. Huh?
All of you guys on a pub crawl. You guys do it well.
They do.
You're doing it well.
That's like 30 of them.
Yeah.
There's
They'll
about-
have RVs. They're staying at Truman Annex.
Are they?
They schedule these, I think, between every 2 to 5 years, and they come down collectively. It's great. We love the Naval Academy. Both of my husbands went to the Naval Academy. Rick's is so kind. They host our annual Army-Navy game day party.
That's a great party. That's a
Were
great
you here?
party.
Were you at our party?
That's a
It was
great party.
It's a great
That
party.
is a great time.
Rick's is wonderful
Well,
to
Rick's
us.
has always supported the military.
Yep.
That's one thing we've always done here. Is
I got you. Hey, how are you? Yeah,
you go.
it's good stuff here.
Yeah, it really is.
I've
Anyway,
never been to a Veterans Day parade
Never?
that people are 3 and 4 people deep, stopping and supporting the military.
Right.
Usually the Veterans Day parades I've attended in different cities are not well attended.
Really?
It is like
We love a
leave it to
parade, though.
Beaver. What is that? Mayberry. It's
Mayberry.
wonderful. It's wonderful.
Yeah,
It's another reason I love it.
I know we talk about this so much on this show, and what a wonderful place it is, and how everybody that lives here pretty much has a charmed life, no matter what. No matter how good, bad, or whatever, we all live a charmed life.
We are blessed. We are blessed.
So, anyway.
It was a pleasure to meet you.
You know, I'm sure you and I are going to cross paths a whole lot.
I would enjoy that.
Well, I told you the last time I saw you that I wanted to make sure you got Dagwood to come sit on the show. And I'm still going to say that because I would like to do, when we get more into the political season, I'd like to try to invite a lot of different candidates to come and just do one whole segment on
That'd be wonderful.
on candidates and what their thoughts are and positions
And
are.
not to speak for Commissioner Scholl, but I do know that he welcomes the more candidates that file to run, even if they're against it, because that's democracy. We all have a say in who is elected, and if no one shows up to do so, then we don't have a choice.
Right.
People need to have a voice.
If there's only one person on the ballot, it's a dictatorship.
Right. And working with him, I know he supports even people as opponents because that's really what democracy is about.
Sure.
And I'm all about that.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I look forward to.
Absolutely. Well, I'm not going to get all political on the two-party system, but I've always wished there was like 5 or 6 choices.
I think nowadays we need that more than ever.
Yeah, and it's
Personally.
it could be getting close.
Well, how do we make it happen?
Well, I think this year we'll have 3 visible candidates, which we haven't had in a long time. And if you really look down on that second tier, there's the Green Party and there's the Libertarian Party and there's about 5 or 6 other parties that rarely get any recognition. But if we can just have 3, I'll be happy. I'll be happier.
Well, listen, we can talk about it, but what do we do to take the initiative to actually make it happen?
Well, hey,
right?
So like when Ross Perot did his thing, a lot of people thought I was crazy for voting for him, but I said, look, I'm voting for him, not just for him, but to bust up the 2-party system, to get a 3rd party in there, because right now
we've never needed it more.
we've never needed it more.
That's my own
Bring
personal
back the
opinion.
wigs, bring back the
Nothing
whoever.
against Commissioner Scholl and who I work for.
Nope.
We've never needed it more.
Yeah, we
that's
absolutely do.
more people is not a thing to be afraid of. It's something to be
it's
celebrated.
more ideas, and it's more thoughts, and it's more solving problems.
I agree.
The more eyeballs. Here. I mean, I've got a staff of 9, and I don't always rule authoritarian. I will go, hey, how do you think we should do this? What do you think we should do? How do you like this? And I'll go around the room and I'll ask everybody. And I'll go, okay, I'll let you know tomorrow what we're going to do.
Well, and sometimes you choose poorly, and there's learning in that.
Yeah.
There's learning in that,
Right.
and that's advantageous to be able to
just to have a different point of view. And I embrace it and I like it. Just
I'm with you.
Small business.
I'm with you, Kit.
Thank you, Sue. So before you leave, I got one question to ask.
What's that?
If you were a pizza, what kind of pizza would you be?
Thin crust. Thin crust. You're gonna.
No, go ahead.
I'm gonna have some haters. I'm gonna have some haters.
I'm never.
Thin crust, light sauce.
Did you say thin crust, light sauce? Okay. All right.
Light sauce, regular cheese.
Yep.
Pepperoni, black olives.
Oh, wow.
And if I'm feeling a little risky, throw on some more meat, like sausage.
Wow.
Like more meat heavy, but for the most part, light sauce.
Light sauce.
And I
crust.
do not eat the crust.
You don't eat the crust?
I call them pizza bones.
The pizza bones?
Best thing. Do you know this about pizza bones?
They're for the dogs, aren't they?
Teething babies.
Teething babies?
Let me tell you.
Oh boy, I'll tell you
hand
what.
a toddler a pizza bone.
I've seen a lot of that in 30 years here.
You hand a baby a teeth that lasts forever.
Yeah,
And
they love it.
now I don't have a toddler in my life, and my dogs do get my pizza bones.
Yeah.
And oftentimes, I don't know if I've done it here, but I'll ask for a to-go bag to take my pizza bones back home to the dogs.
Oh, why not?
Well, if my husband doesn't eat them before, that happens.
I'm totally in with that. We used to have a guy named Brad Fishar that lived up in a unit right up above here, and he had 2 dogs, and at 3 or 4 in the morning, he'd let them out, and they would look under every table trying to find us. We called it the pizza bones.
Well, when we're having pizza at home, our dogs, we have 2 dogs, our dogs do not hover around him because they know he eats the plate clean. They know Puppy Mama brings the pizza bones.
There's always a softie in every crowd. Well,
anyway,
on that note, we love dogs. On that note, I'd like to remind everybody to subscribe to the Sit With Kit channel if you haven't already. Please like us and share us. On behalf of myself, Sue, Tim, and everybody here at Angelina's, thanks. Appreciate it. Bye.